It is 8:30 p.m. and I have just arrived here in Eastleigh. Tonight I'll be traveling with one of the most luxurious buses in this country. It is a new bus, KDY. The bus is operated by Dreamline. Uh, it is my first time traveling between Nairobi and Mombasa. I have never done that on a bus actually. Last time I traveled to Mombasa, I used the SGR, but this is the first time I'm using a bus. Also, it's the first time I'm using a Chinese bus in this country. The journey will take about 9 hours or 10 hours, I'm not sure, but we will see. The bus will leave here around 9 p.m. Then we will see what time I will arrive in Mombasa. Travel with me from Nairobi to Mombasa on this brand new luxury bus. This is the Zhongtong Mega Plus, one of the latest buses to join the Dreamline fleet. We left Eastleigh in Nairobi at exactly 9 p.m. and I was seated comfortably in VIP seat number 3. The entertainment screen at my seat worked perfectly, with plenty of movies to choose from during the journey. As we drove through Eastleigh, it was easy to see how fast the area is growing because of the many investment taking place. We passed through Majengo, then Lusaka before joining Mombasa Road, which was surprisingly clear for a weekday night. Our first stop was at Sema Plaza, where we picked up a few passengers and some parcels before continuing with the journey. The bus also comes with a fridge where passengers can keep their drinks or even store some food. I was surprised to see Mombasa Road this clear on a weekday because that hardly ever happens. Even the usually busy Machakos Junction had very few vehicles, which is something you don't see often. A short while later, we stopped to pick up a passenger who had been left behind by a Royal Liner bus. After that, we continued for a few minutes before making another stop for a bathroom break. This stop sells the most expensive tea I have come across in all my travels. This small cup cost 150, and to be honest, it is not even that good. But anyway, chai ni lazima no matter the price. 15 minutes later, we were back on the road. One thing that really caught my attention was that the driver kept the bus within 80 kph throughout the journey. The interesting part is that while inside the bus, it feels like you are moving at only 20 kilometers per hour because the ride is so smooth. We passed through several towns including Emali, Makindu and Kibwezi, where there was still plenty of activity despite the late hour. Later, we caught up with the Royal Liner bus and stopped briefly to drop off the elderly passenger we had picked up earlier. At exactly 1:32 a.m. we made our first stop at Mtito Andei for refreshments. I went into this restaurant and ordered rice with boiled goat meat. The meat was soft, tasty, and I really enjoyed it. Chakula ya hapa huwa tamu and they are not very expensive. Of course, I washed everything down with a cup of tea. Chai ni lazima. I also met one of my followers before we got back on the bus and continued with the journey. came across a lorry that had overturned. Hopefully no one was injured. The road between Mtito and Dei and Voi is in poor condition with many potholes along the way. By 3:25 a.m. we had reached Voi, and about 2 hours later we arrived in the famous town of Mariakani. At exactly 6:05 a.m. we arrived in Mombasa, 9 hours after leaving Nairobi. Follow for the next video.